Okay, going live. Hello there. Welcome all of our mamas. This is Alyssa from Ohana, and guess who's here? We've got Markel from Kanga and her son is here too, and her mom. So it's a family day today for some yoga. And listen, this is all about you time. So it's about self care time. And we'll move our bodies for about 30 minutes today just to give you a break from it all because goodness knows I know exactly what it's like to care for other human beings and also attempt to care for yourself. It's no joke. Markel's son might be kind of running around, what I kind of similar to what I imagine is going on at your house too, with children all over the place. And so it's all good. We're just going to enjoy the 30 or so minutes that we have together today, and whatever happens is great. So let's start in a comfortable seat. You can cross your legs if you want, or if there's a different way that you'd like to get grounded into the earth, you can do that too. And just begin to be in your body. So you can feel your hips get heavy into the floor. You can start to feel your breath become a little bit more expressive inside yourself. So each inhalation and each exhalation has a little bit more quality to it. Then begin to explore the spinal column and see if you can sit up a little bit taller. Just by sitting up taller, your lung capacity increases so that you can start to fill up your rib cage, your low back, and your whole body. And just be here, mama. Be here for a few moments where you don't have to worry about the laundry or doing dishes or caring for all these other people in life, because right now this is you time. And there is nothing more beautiful and more luxurious than spending time on yourself. Together, take an inhale breath. Open mouth, exhale out. Two more rounds. Inhale all the way up to the top of the head. Open mouth, exhale, and make some noise. One more time. Breathe in, sit up, taller, taller, taller. Take another sip of air in. Open mouth, exhale out. Seal your lips, and without efforting too much, take generous, gorgeous breaths, both in through the nose and out through the nose. And look how this stillness and these gentle moments of you time can be so good and so calming for your whole day. Let's move into tabletop pose. Take your hands to the floor and your knees to the floor, and you'll align yourself so that you're supported, meaning that your shoulder is over your wrist and your hip is over your knees. We'll flow through cow pose. Let your belly start to fall to the floor. Broaden your collarbones. You can move your gaze forward. You might even lift it up. And we'll flow to cat pose. So push down into the ground. Move your pubic bone forward and your belly up as you bring your chin towards your chest. Let's add breath. Inhale, cow pose. Soften the front body. Exhale, cat pose. Expand and broaden through your shoulder blades. That's beautiful. One more. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. Okay, come to all fours. Spread your fingers wide and tuck your toes underneath. We'll add some core stability here. So now if you're newly postnatal, meaning it's been 4 weeks since you delivered, you might keep your knees on the floor. But if you'd like to test and see how your deep core and your abdominals are doing, you can float your knees off the floor about an inch or so. So you're in tabletop in a neutral spine plank where your knees are an inch or so off the floor. Now, what happens when you start to squeeze your hip bones together and you can stiffen your side bodies and you can draw the front of the rib cage in, hold it right here for 4, 3, 2, tap your knees down and come to child's pose. Broaden your knees a little bit wider on your mat Bring your big toes together to touch and reach your fingertips towards the front of your space. And now just come into huge inhalations and exhalations. So you're starting to feel your body become more connected. Notice the heat that you felt from that deep core exercise start to dissipate throughout the body as you breathe into your inner hips and your inner groins. We'll take this into downward facing dog. You can draw your knees back in, lift your hips up to the ceiling, and come into this inverted V-like shape that is downward facing dog. Feel free to bend through each of your knees. You can take a little bit of a wiggle on each side. And as you do that, your side bodies will lengthen, and you're starting to tone and heat the shoulders by lifting your hips up towards the ceiling. Once you feel like your body is starting to awaken, you can press your thigh bones back and you can lift your sits bones up. That's beautiful. Lift your heels up away from the floor. Take a bunch of steps, little teeny tiny steps to the top of your mat. We'll take ragdoll pose. Walk your feet out wide. Your toes point straight forward and just reach for the opposite arm. So you're taking a basket grip where you let your head start to fall all the way down towards the floor. And mama, if it feels good, you can begin to sway side to side. This is usually the place in my practice where my kids start to jump on top of my back. So if that's happening to you at home, I totally get it. The most amazing thing about you in your practice and in this yoga practice is that you're modeling health and wellness and self-care for your littles. It's really transformative and it's really profound, even if it's not perfect. Allow your hands to fall towards the floor and you can walk your feet back in towards center. Now, either your feet come underneath your hips or your big toes touch. It really doesn't matter. Take a halfway lift. Take your hands to your thighs and just push down there. And now lift and lengthen the front of your chest. Okay, so your ribs are still drawing in towards the front of the body, but your neck gets longer and longer and longer and longer. Forward fold, keep the space, but let your head fall towards the floor. Mountain pose, stand and rise. Lift your hands all the way up to the ceiling, stretch really tall. Take your hands to your heart center, and let's just pause here for one moment in Samastitihi. So hands to heart, you get to stand proud and tall, and just allow yourself to breathe. In the context of being a mama, man, it is nonstop and it is always on the go. So these quiet moments of stillness, this is the you time. You deserve this. And in that high level of deserving power, really anything is possible. Mountain pose, stretch your hands all the way up to the ceiling. Take a back bend. So turn on your quads and turn on your glutes and take your elbows wider than your shoulders so you get to explore and express the front of your heart. Mountain pose, reach your hands all the way back up again. Exhale, forward fold, dive over the thighs and allow your head to fall. Inhale, halfway lift. Feel free to press down on the thighs. Exhale, forward fold, your head gets heavy. Again, mountain pose, so we'll just flow these postures. Lift up. Exhale, back bend, open up the elbows and the chest. Inhale, mountain pose, stretch and reach. Exhale, forward fold, lift up and over and down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose, last time through, reach all the way up. Exhale, back bend. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Tuck and curl. So bend your knees, let your hips come down towards your heels, and you can bring your chin towards your chest. Just take a moment to stretch the fascia and the inner arch of your foot back, and then bring your hips down to the floor. Okay, so we're gonna do some core exercises that are perfect to help heal abdominal separation, especially after pregnancy. Now, abdominal separation happens whether you have a vaginal delivery or a C-section. Abdominal separation is natural. It happens to all of us mamas. When it gets too big, when the separation is too big, it's called diastasis recti. And I imagine that there are many of you, whether diagnosed or undiagnosed, that are also dealing with diastasis or advanced abdominal separation. So these exercises are really good for that. I'm going to take you all the way down to your back. So come onto your back, bend your knees, and place your feet on the floor. Okay, so first let's talk about your pelvis. If your low back is really arched, see what you can do to bring it back to neutral. So it's not like you have to press your low back all the way down to the floor, but you want to make sure the back of your pelvis, the back of your hips, can just get pretty flat on the ground beneath you. Once you start to feel that, take your fingers to your hip bones, slide them in an inch and slide them down an inch. And then I want you to cough. Go. Can you feel that muscle that gets flattened and kind of bulges out when you cough? Cough again. That's your transverse abdominis, and this is the muscle that we want to try to target with coordination of your pelvic floor, okay? So feel free to keep your fingers there. If you want to move your fingers off your body, you can do that too. Lift your right foot up. Take your right hand to your right thigh and now start to push against it. Okay, so you're creating traction here, kind of like we did in halfway lift. Push your right hand into your right thigh. Notice how you're feeling heat into the deep core. See if you can locate your pelvic floor activation and imagine your pelvic floor was like a trampoline that could lift up into the pelvic bowl. So you're taking the entirety of your pelvic floor, the back, the middle, and the front, and you suction it up into the pelvic bowl. Keep pushing your right hand into your right leg. Now, this might be where you stay. If you're looking for a little bit more, extend your left foot straight forward in front of you. Great, and now you'll take your left toes and you'll take them down slightly towards the floor and up slightly towards the ceiling. Keep pushing your right hand into your right leg. Left toes lower a little bit and your left toes lift a little bit. That's fabulous. Two more. Take the left toe slightly down and your left toe slightly up. Last time, a little bit lower and a little bit of a lift. Hold right here. If you want even more, reach your left hand back behind you. Hold and breathe. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Pull your knees to your chest. Could you feel that? I could feel it. I hope you could too. Markel's like, yes, I could feel that. Markel's about a year postpartum. So this type of abdominal work is so perfect for her to get back into connection of her pelvic floor and deep core. All right, right foot down, left foot up. So come back into a neutral pelvis. Make sure that your low back is in its natural shape. So it's not arching up too much and it doesn't necessarily have to hit the floor. Take your left hand to your left thigh and push against the thigh. So the thigh is not moving at all, it's staying in place, and there's this isometric contraction, non-moving contraction, that you're starting to feel all the way through the left side body. You can either stay exactly here or reach your right toes forward in front of you. And now the right toes will move slightly down towards the floor, slightly up towards the ceiling. Keep your belly as flat as you can. Right toes lower, keep pushing against the thigh. Right toes lift. That's it. 2 more times. Lower your right toes ever so slightly. Lift your right toes up. Keep pushing against your thigh. Right toes lower down a little bit. They lift back up a little bit. Hold it right here. If you'd like to extend your right arm back behind you, you can. Hold and breathe. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Pull your knees to your chest. 1. Great job. So that type of very focused and intentional deep core work can help you start to repair abdominal separation. And it's something that I'm so passionate about. I love that we get to share this together. All right, start to rock side to side if you'd like. Start to rock forward and back if you'd like. We'll come to standing on your feet, and we're coming all the way back up to mountain pose. So come onto your feet, stand up tall, reach your hands all the way to the ceiling. Take your hands to your heart and just pause for a moment. So notice that in a very short amount of time, you've already carved out a space for you time. And notice what you've created in your body. There's heat and there's energy and there's this whole new awareness of possibility. Mountain pose, reach your hands up to the ceiling. Exhale, back bend. Stretch the chest and the core. Inhale, mountain pose, reach your hands up. Exhale, forward fold, just like we did before. Inhale, halfway lift. We'll add on from here. Step your left foot back for low lunge. So right now, your right foot is forward, your left foot is back, and you're in a low lunge shape. From low lunge, take a twist to the right. So leave your left fingertips down, reach your right fingertips up to the ceiling, and feel free to roll out the right wrist in this low lunge twist. Perfect, yes. Yes, love. All right, low lunge, bring your right hand back down to the floor. Spin your back left heel to the ground and come up for warrior two. So in warrior two, your front right knee is bent and your right knee is pretty much over your right ankle. Your left leg is pretty straight, so that's the back leg. Push your feet down, lift your pelvic floor up, and use the same abdominal strength as you extend your fingertips in both directions. That is so beautiful. Take an inhale right here. Exhale, extended side angle. You can hinge towards your front right leg and reach your left hand up and over your head. Yes, beautiful. So now your left heel, your back foot is like an anchor for you to reach and extend both of your side bodies. Great. Exhale out right here. Inhale, reverse warrior. Keep the bend in your front right leg. Lift your front arm, your right arm up to the ceiling. Exactly. And now it's a huge side body stretch in both of the sides of your body. Take a breath in. Exhale, low lunge. Face the front of your mat. Step your back foot forward. Take a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Sweep your hands all the way up to the ceiling. Reach, reach, reach. Exhale, back bend. Keep your glutes engaged. Lift your chest. Inhale, mountain pose. Stretch tall. Exhale, forward fold. Let your head come down towards the floor. Inhale, halfway lift. Extend the spine. This time, step your right foot back for low lunge. So your left foot stays forward, your right foot comes back. And we'll take a low lunge twist. Twist to the left and lift your left fingertips up off the ground. Feel free to roll out the wrist on this side. And then to low lunge, both hands to the floor. Warrior two, spin your back right heel to the earth. Lift and rise. And we're in warrior two. So this time your front leg, your left leg is bending. And your left knee aligns over the left heel. Your back right thigh is strong. So make sure the thigh is lifting up as you reach and broaden through the fingertips. Take a breath in right here. Exhale, extended side angle, hinge towards the front left leg and sweep the back arm up. Yes, that's perfect. See if you can draw your rib cage back. Now see if you can draw the center of your neck back and reach all the way through the top of your head. Reverse warrior, keep the low body shape. Reach your front arm, your left arm up to the ceiling. And that's reverse warrior, exactly, just like that. Same thing, you can squeeze and knit the front of the rib cage in and back as you stretch all the way up and over. Take a breath in right here. Low lunge, face the front of your mat. Step your back foot forward, take a halfway lift. Forward fold. We'll flow those postures one time each side. Mountain pose, reach your hands all the way up to the ceiling. Reach, reach, reach. Exhale, back bend, broaden the chest. Inhale, mountain pose, stretch tall. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Step your left foot back for low lunge. Inhale, twist right, lift your right arm up. Exhale, low lunge, both hands to the floor. Warrior two, spin your back left heel as you rise. Exhale, extended side angle, reach towards the front right leg. Inhale, reverse warrior, right arm all the way up, all the way back. Beautiful, low lunge, face the front of your mat. Step your back foot forward, take a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose, stretch to the ceiling. Exhale, back bend, open up the body. Inhale, mountain pose, reach tall. Exhale, forward fold, dive over your thighs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, right foot back, low lunge. Low lunge twist to the left, lift your left arm up. Exhale, both hands to the floor. Inhale, warrior two, spin your back right heel to the floor. Exhale, extended side angle, reach towards the front of your mat. Inhale, reverse warrior, front arm, left arm, all the way up. Exhale, low lunge. Step your back foot forward, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose, come up, reach tall. Take your hands to your heart and just pause for a moment. Okay, so even more activation, even more breath has now come into the body, and just notice that. Notice how your feet feel. Notice how your calves feel, your thighs feel, your glutes feel. Notice how your whole body feels from head to toe. Mountain pose, reach tall, stretch. Exhale, back bend. Last mountain pose of this practice. Get taller, 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 taller. Forward fold all the way over the thighs. Inhale, halfway lift. Tuck and curl and come into an itty bitty ball, just like we did before. Come onto your seat, stretch your feet forward in front of you. We'll take seated forward fold. Okay, mamas, you don't need to have straight legs here. You can bend your knees to any degree that you'd like. Try to work your sits bones down and slightly back and your chest up. Reach your hands up and over your head. Seated forward fold. You can reach the sides of the legs. You could reach the sides of the ankles. You could also reach down for the feet. And be bold with your breath. Your inhales tap into the possibilities that you're creating. And your exhales soften your expectations for who you are as a mom. Your inhales welcome new life. And your exhales detach from perfection. You can release the legs and lower all the way down onto your back. And we'll just slow it way down. Happy baby pose. Pull your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze. Then for happy baby, you can either take your hands behind your hamstrings, you could take your hands towards your ankles, you could reach up for your feet. And your knees will bend, they kind of hug down towards the sides of your body. As that happens, you can open up through the inner groins and the inner hips. And if it feels good on your back, you can welcome a little sway, a little rock to each side. Yes, it's Attack of the Little Monsters time when you're finally on your back. It's so perfect. They've been waiting for you to be in this position all day. It's free kisses. We'll take supine twist. Bring your knees together to touch. Take both of your knees to the left side of your mat and allow your chest to stay facing the ceiling. So it's kind of like your right shoulder falls and drops towards the earth. Welcome in and inhale. And get it out, let it go. Other side, take your knees up and over towards the right. Supine twist. This time your left shoulder is like a weighted blanket and it just falls towards the earth. The truth is that as mamas, it's so much easier to make the positive decisions for our little ones than it is for ourselves. I mean, you're already doing this. You're cloth diapering and you're using sustainable products. And you've already determined that your kids are worth it and the earth is worth it and life is worth it. But what about you? What about yourself and what about your own quality of life? Pull your knees into your chest. Give yourself a huge bit of love. And if your kids are there, show them how much you love yourself. Squeeze yourself in tight and model how amazing it is to believe, to experience, to adore you time, self-care time. Come into corpse pose, Shavasana. You can literally just lay on the floor and take up as much space as you possibly can. We'll be here for several moments, so feel free to just melt into the floor and soak in the stillness. You can take a thumb and just start to touch each fingertip one at a time as you lay on the floor and you start to welcome yourself back into your body. This is just a gentle way to rekindle and reform the physical body. Feel free to stretch your arms up and over your head if you'd like. Take a big, huge, long body stretch. Then roll into fetal position. So you can roll right or you can roll left and just imagine that the earth, that Mama Earth was like a molded palm that you're laying inside of, like the cup of the earth's hand, holding you and supporting you. And feel free to come up into a seat, and it can look like anything that you'd like. So we'll close class with just a bit of intention, and the intention is for you to live your best life. Bring your hands to your heart center and feel that and imagine it. What would your best life look like? And I hope you can experience the details, the colors, the tastes, the smells, the sounds of children laughter and of your own laughter. A way of being instead of doing. And the opportunity to receive for all of the efforts that you give. With that intention, lift your thumbs up to your third eye center. Lift the chest a little bit, lift the heart a little bit. You can take your chin to your chest. Namaste is a Sanskrit word that is translated to mean I see you, and I see you, Mama. I see how hard you're working. I see how much love you're giving. I see everything that you're doing. I honor you, and I adore you, and I support you. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining Markel and I, and baby and Mama too. Grandma came too today to make sure that her little one, and he wanted to hug so many times. For all of you at Kanga Care, it's an amazing, I'm so blessed to be connected to Kanga Care and just how they're actively changing the world one diaper at a time. It's incredible. It's so beautiful. And you guys all believe it because you're part of it too. So collectively, we can take care of ourselves, we can take care of each other, and we can take care of this earth because it's the only one we got. I hope you had a beautiful day today. And I also hope to see you soon. Thank you so much for joining. You say bye? Nope, not when Mama's around. Take care. Thank you so much.